And thank you for joining another edition of Hoops Hitting Gems podcast. I'm your host, David Jones. Want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. We've been off for about 2 weeks, been all over the country traveling as usual. So now that it's the holiday week, I got a little time for myself. Got another great person on the show, great guest, great friend of the show. We've known him for years. He's doing his thing. Definitely proud of what he's doing. Tonight we have Coach Jason Roscoe, from the head coach from Madison College up in Madison, Wisconsin. How you doing today, brother?
Doing all right, David. Thanks for having me, man. Greatly
Oh man,
appreciate this opportunity.
at any time, man. I thought today was ideal. Even before this news just dropped this evening / afternoon, with the new NCAA injunction right now that is still playing its way out in court, when when we were just talking on text, I was like, this would be a great time to have you on and, not just put that to the side. Man, what you doing at Madison, man, you're doing a knockout job, and you've taken that program. And for people that don't understand, there's levels in JUCO. There's JUCO D1, there's JUCO D2, there's JUCO D3, there's JUCO Independent, and then there's California JUCO as well as the Northwest JUCO, league as well. But what you're doing at that JUCO D2 level, you guys are a nationally ranked program now, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. It's God is good, man. I'm truly blessed and just thankful for the privilege and the opportunity that I have to coach such a group of a great group of young men. I mean, they've bought in from day one, and to be quite honest, what a difference a year makes. This is our second year at the Division II JUCO level, and so this is also my first full recruiting class, and so majority of our roster is high school guys, mixed in with a couple transfers and a couple gap year players, but generally speaking, our roster is full of young guys, man, who are just extremely coachable. They're selfless. They want to win. And these guys, they like being around each other and, just love being in the gym. And that's where it starts.
Absolutely. Man, I want to jump right into it. Tell us about Madison College for a number of people that don't know. Tell us about the college. Tell us about the conference. Tell us about JUCO D2. I mean, yes, of course I know, but I want the audience to be educated on the JUCO level that you coach and, the opportunities it could bring as well.
Yeah, I mean, Madison, college, we're right in the heart of Madison, about 10 minutes from the University of Wisconsin in the Big Ten, about a couple hours from Chicago, Illinois, a little over an hour from, Milwaukee, and a couple, an hour or two away from the borders of Iowa and, Minnesota. And so the region that we play in, Region 4, is tough, man. Is very, very, very tough region. The past couple national champions for the Division II JUCO level have come out of Region 4. Milwaukee Tech and South Suburban are two powerhouses, and a lot of great teams, a lot of great coaches. In this league that I have a ton of respect for, and we're slowly trying to build Madison College up into being one of those powerhouses, not only regionally but also on the national level as well.
And so, in regards to, I always want to talk the academic piece. Madison does a good job with their academics as well, correct?
Yeah. I mean, we obviously, the goal is to, obviously as part of the recruiting process is to get guys who, prioritize their academics and, who want to earn, their associate's degree as well as, go on to earn their bachelor's degrees. Because like I tell recruits and, and the current guys that, are on my team is that, at some point in time, that ball is going to stop bouncing.
Absolutely.
And so having something to fall back on, that, that degree is something that, no one can ever take away from you, and so, with that, emphasizing to guys that, you don't have to be a 4.0 student. We have high academic, kids on our team, but you do have to put yourself perhaps in uncomfortable situations when it comes to asking for help and, utilizing the support resources that we have here. And that's one of the unique things that we have here in terms of our setup. We have a couple athletic academic advisors who are solely responsible for advising our student athletes and connecting them with the different resources here on campus. We have a mandatory study hall for our student athletes that they're required to attend. And we also have different student success workshops for our student athletes to help them with things such as time management, resume, cover letter writing, different network events with different alum, mental health awareness. So there's a bunch of great things that we have in place to hopefully help provide these young athletes with the structure that they need to put themselves in a position to be successful, not only on the court but off the court. Because if you take care of your business, off the court, that's one less distraction that you have to worry about, on the court.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. And man, the job you're doing up there, like you said, you're currently ranked 19th in the top 25 JUCO D2 poll right now, correct?
Yes.
Hey, man, that's big time right there. And for this to be your second year, it speaks volumes of the culture you're building up there. And that definitely congrats to that. But now that you're building that type of culture, that means anywhere from D1s, D2s, D3s, NAIs are going to come in that door now because they want to see what you got going on.
Absolutely. It's about, I have a great assistant, Coach Roy Boone, who, went the JUCO route and, was the starting guard on Wisconsin's 2000 Final Four team. He does a really, phenomenal job of, skill development. And, really this year, I challenged him to, really take charge of our defense. And I mean, he's done a phenomenal, job. And so, we're definitely we have guys that, have opportunities, and we'll have even more, opportunities when it's all said and done. And, for us, it's just, for me, it's making sure that, whatever those next steps are going to be, that it gives them the best opportunity to continue to be able to, play and, showcase their talents. And, again, go to a place where they're going to be, taken care of, because that's something that, we try to, make sure of, and something that, was instilled in me and, working, under Coach A. And, that's one of the things that, I really try to make sure I do is, take care of, the players, in our program.
And I love to hear stuff like that because it's bigger than basketball. Just listening to what you're saying, with it being bigger than basketball, one of the biggest things you just said earlier, like at some point, whether it's after JUCO or after 4 year, the ball is going to stop bouncing, and you want to be prepared. And I think that's one of the things a lot of these kids, and sometimes some of the parents don't understand, like this journey it's close to being over, whether it's after you or it's after the 4 year school, they're fortunate enough to move on. But you want them to have a piece of paper that makes them marketable out in the job world.
Yeah, and that's something, I've had a couple kids, in my 3 years here, um, that have had successful careers. And even prior to me, taking over here at Madison, previous coaches prior to me, I mean, they've all had, players who've come in and, their goal is solely, that 2 year, degree and, be able to enter the workforce. And I know here at Madison College, we specialize in some very, very, very good trades programs. And so, some of our student athletes will go into those programs and, enter the workforce and, go on to be great, be great citizens and, ultimately be in a position where they're able to, come back and, tell their story. And that's what it's about.
And then tell me about the roster you got this year, because obviously you must have some players, and people need to hear about these players that you got if you rank 19th. So, and tell us about that roster you got, man.
Hey, man, again, one of the things I've learned, man, is you treat people well in this business, man. Everyone knows everyone, man. It's a
Mhm.
small world at the end of the day. And like I keep, saying is that, when it comes to the recruiting process is, I have some really, good contacts and connections and, they know that I'm a man of my word. I do things with integrity. I'm loyal. I'm not going to mistreat the players, but I'm going to hold them accountable. And, there are expectations, but, when you treat people well, man, and you do things the right way, um, you'll be able to get some players. And so I feel fortunate in having a great diverse group of talent of a couple kids from Michigan. Obviously, I have some Wisconsin kids, um, couple Georgia kids on the roster, kid from Pennsylvania, kid from Texas. So just a very diverse group of talent and experience, that's really kind of propelled us in the position, that we're in now. And so, what, the interesting thing is that, we haven't peaked yet, and so, I'm hopefully we can, for some that may sound, a little odd being 10-1, but trust me when I tell you, we have not peak yet. These guys are still learning, but again, they're receptive, and they don't worry about who gets the glory, who has this many points or this or that. They just want to win. They're a hungry group, and we have great leadership. I have two sophomores and one freshman who are our captains, and they do a great job of leading, by example, and they all have their own different niche in terms of their leadership styles that, really blend well, and they're able to bring these guys, all along and bring us together. So that's really played a instrumental role in, our success early on.
I like the sounds of that. Man, let me ask you this. And, like I said, it was ironic that I was bringing you on, and I thought it was a good idea to bring you on. What's your thoughts on this new NCAA injunction for JUCO players, and it's affecting their 4 year eligibility? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's still. I mean, there's a lot. It seems like it's something new, every day. And I think for me, it's about, whatever's, gonna, if it's gonna benefit the student athletes in a positive way, then I'm all for it. I think there does need to be some sort of governance, at the NCAA level, to start, and how that impacts the other levels is, to be determined. But obviously, for JUCOs, it can be really, beneficial. And I've obviously seen, people talking about how this may impact, you know, uh, high school seniors or high school players, and for me personally, um, I don't really see it impact. I mean, because I still think you're going to have players who um, frown upon, even going the JUCO route. I still think that's going to be, is still this perception, out there of what JUCO ball is it, and what it is, and so it's just hopefully that these folks are surrounded by people who have their best interests at hand. So I'm interested to see kind of how what the long term effects of this is, but early on it looks like it could benefit you know uh, us at the JUCO level specifically.
And I think it's interesting that you say that, because in my mind, I think you're going to start getting a number of those post grad kids, especially, post grad was already kind of, where it was, but
Mm-hmm.
instead of having, kids that have to pay 10, 15, $20,000, they can come to you and be full paying, and their bill was minimal. And
Yeah.
so that's why I think it's going to be attractive for you. And let me ask this, because with this landscape changing, that means some JUCOs are going to have to, their landscape is going to change as well. Does that mean you'll have possibly a JV team, or do you already have one?
Nah, we don't have a JV team. I don't think that's something we would, entertain here at, Madison, at Madison College. And obviously in terms of post grads, there's some, good post grads, and there's some, that are out there that are, just have a asterisk, beside them, and so, I'd be, more than glad to, have them obviously, come our way, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all, kind of, pans out. Because like you said, some of those post grads too. I mean, they do, cost a, pretty penny, so to speak. And so, why not, come here and, obviously you'd be in a position to, get started to fulfilling your, working towards, your college degree, and, earning college level credits, and still be able to, again, ultimately maintain that, eligibility.
Yeah. And, like we said, after seeing the news tonight, I want to speak in caution, because, the NCAA is still pushing their litigation in regards to the
Mhm.
next step for JUCO, whether it's going to be 4 years, whether it's going to be one, like we saw this evening, where they did agree that, people that are seniors this year, they'll get that year of eligibility next year if they went JUCO, which is
Right.
huge. I mean, that's really big.
Yeah.
The part that you're speaking to, that a number of people are waiting to see, is if you're going to be able to go JUCO, play your 2 years, and still have your 4 years of eligibility. And I think, Coach, if you get that, you'd be crazy not to entertain getting your associates, getting 2 years of development and good high level quality basketball, and
Mhm.
then move on and still have 4 years. I think that's going to be beyond advantageous for you. Like, to your point of what you said, like, and again, I understand your IMGs, your Link Years, your Sunrise Christians. Those guys, they're your Spires. They're still going to be here.
Right.
And to the point of what you said, like, and it's not to name any post grads. Some of them that kind of have an asterisk next to them and kind of considered mom and pop. They're in trouble. They're in
Yeah.
huge trouble.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
those kids are going to be looking for homes. Do you envision having a tryout now, because of the possibility of having a number of kids looking for homes, between the portal, between what's going on now, do you envision a spike in people contacting you?
I mean, as far as tryouts, we typically do have one. And in August. Rarely, at least since I've been here, I haven't had any like mid-semester transfers, just yet.
Mhm.
That could change. It just depends on the situation, and the scenario of the player, and um, all those sorts of things. So, I mean, I mean, it's the DMs, the emails, the phone calls. I think it's just a matter of really filtering, through a lot of that. Again, I try to, I have my contacts and I know if it's coming from one of them, it's legit. But obviously you just have some kids and coaches who are, just fishing for offers, and they have no idea where Madison is, or if it's a 4 year, if it's a 2 year, if it's a high school, and so yeah, I think it's going to be it's just waiting to see, kind of how this all shakes out. I think again at the end of the day, if it's can benefit the student athletes, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Does this change how you recruit per se?
Um, I mean, for me, I'm always, I don't, like I said, our roster is majority, we're high school freshmen, and so for me, it's just, I think just having that, mix, and because I believe obviously you can win, with high school players, and but I think it's nothing wrong with having some transfers, perhaps, mixed in with that group. It just has to be the right fit, because I'm not the right coach, or this isn't the right program for everyone, and I understand, and I respect that. So it's just day by day, and recruiting is 365 days a year, and so just trying to again find the kids who are high character, who prioritize academics, kids who are coachable, who are winners, who are team players, are guys that we want to be a part of this program, and guys who um, see something, want to be a part of something that's, bigger than themselves. And so, yeah, it'd definitely be nice to get some transfers, some big time transfers. But at the same time, it's you can, those situations can be, hit or miss,
Yeah.
So I'm not, it just has to be the right situation. So.
And let me ask this, and I'm beyond curious to get this answer.
Mhm.
So your recruitment style, like you said, you go after high school kids. So in the summertime, are you out looking, or are you at AAU events? Do you have like a elite camp? How is your structure work of where a kid can get in front of you outside of being referred to you?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, kids, like, we will have open gyms. Kids can come up for, we'll invite kids up for a workout,
Mhm.
to work out with my assistant and myself. I go to different AAU events, throughout the summer. Right after Christmas, a few days after Christmas, I'll be going to check out some high school games here locally, and regionally, and just trying to you know uh stay at it, man, because that is the that's the lifeline of any basketball program, is being able to successfully recruit, man. And so um, yeah, it's just I'm always looking and talking and just trying to build relationships and expand that network, as well, because I that's important, in the nature of what we do. So yeah, I'm always out and recruiting and just trying to identify talent and guys that I think would fit. And sometimes it's, there's kids I've, recruited and they choose elsewhere and, which is fine. And, there's kids who want to be a part of something, that's not already built, want to, and want to come to Madison College and help, and help build this program up. So.
It's so, and another big question, because the people that are familiar with the JUCO world, and I just wanted you to put this out there. Do you play in any jamborees preseason?
We didn't play any jamborees this year. That's a good question, because my personal take on that is that I've tried to get away from playing in jamborees, to be totally honest with you.
Okay.
Like this year, we scrimmaged two really good Division III teams, and so I'm more so trying to go more of that route. Just because those jamborees are good, but it takes a large toll, on the players during that particular day, and I like to, given how fast our season starts. I prefer now to just see my kids in a more um, game like, true game like structure and format, because that helps me out as well in terms of assessing and just being able to look at the skill sets and start to work on different rotations and those sorts of things. So for me, I'm not opposed to jamborees. I don't think they're bad by any means, but for me, I've tried to focus on getting some plan against 4-year institutions, because it's a win-win for us, and for them. It gives those folks we're scrimmaging opportunity to see some of our players up close and and personal, and perhaps start a recruiting relationship with those players if they don't already have one. So
Definitely. And I like that you explain that, as well as explaining your philosophy as to why. And, when it comes down to end of the year, you got your Region 4 tournament. Can you tell people more about the D2 JUCO National Championship? And it's traditionally held in the same place, correct?
yeah, it's in Danville. This year, I think it's been held there the past several years. It's a whole bidding process. As far as Region 4, our playoffs are set up. I can't remember. It's over 20 plus teams within our region.
Uh-huh.
Top 16 teams make it. The top eight seeds host a home game the first round, and then the semifinals and the finals will be played at Rock Valley College.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way our bracket is the way it's set up in Region 4 is there's a Midwest A bracket and there's a Midwest B bracket. So
Okay.
the winners of the Midwest A and the winners of Midwest B get automatic bids to the tournament.
Okay.
And so when you have the bracket, so if out of the top 16 teams, so Midwest A, I believe it's set up where, Midwest A, the top seed will be in Midwest A, number 2, Midwest B, number 3 seed, Midwest A, just kind of alternate, back and forth. But again, our region, our schedule, at least, that we have, even within our region and our non-conference schedule, is tough, and that's one of the things, again, that, when I was in high school, when we were at, when I was at Clayton, we play anybody anywhere, And some people looked at me this year with this such a young group, and you know, just with that schedule we have is like, man, what are you, even I question myself. I'm like, man, uh, this is a tough schedule, man. How are we gonna, I'm interested to see how we, get through this. And here we are at 10-1, and played some of the top teams in the country, and the best is yet to come.
And I want to educate the audience on this because I want them to understand this as well. So, with you being a D2 JUCO, is it a full scholarship situation? Is it stackable, i.e., Pell, i.e., you give money? Can you explain to the audience how it works in the D2 JUCO level?
Yeah, I mean, each school is different. I
Okay.
mean, it could be, we could talk about this for days, but it's totally, it's different, man. Like it's different. And what I mean by that, for example, is like a lot of the schools we play are in Illinois, and in the state of Illinois, a lot of those schools that we play have like in-state tuition waivers. For example,
Hmm.
we don't have in-state tuition waivers.
Hmm.
So and we don't, necessarily, we don't have full rides. I mean, this is only our second year, so again, it's just about building it up. And, we have a, great, great athletic director, and, he's just trying to slowly build this, build all of the programs up. I mean, at least for us at Madison, the only sports that were Division II have been our men's baseball team and our women's softball team. But we also have men's and women's soccer, um, women's volleyball, golf, men's and women's basketball. And so, when you move up to Division II, I mean, it's not like they could say, here's basketball, here's $200,000. All that would be nice. That's just not the reality when you talk about Title IX and equity and those sorts of things. So,
Hmm.
um, but nonetheless, I'm not someone who, complains, or makes excuses about, what it is that we don't have. It's about just, just stand the course, and just, truly, trust in the process, and believing that, in the grand scheme of things, when it's all said and done, we'll be, where we need to be. So, yeah, Illinois has tuition waivers. Um, and some schools do have, I mean, they can offer equivalent to full, and those sorts of things. For us, it really is, a mixture. I try to be very strategic, in my approach, and um, you know, um, in terms of the recruiting process, and getting kids to, and their families to believe, and come to Madison College. And I've been um, blessed to be able to do that. Like I said, I'm honest throughout the, entire recruiting process. And, I don't sell any dreams. This is what we have. This is what's available. It's what we can do. It's what we can't do, but, you know, what I try to leave them with is that, their son is going to be, taken care of. They're going to be pushed, they're going to be held accountable. And, we're gonna, not allow them to settle for being, mediocre, on and off the court. So, and again, it goes back to our skill development. It's just, priding ourselves on, skill development, and yeah, maybe we lose out on, some of those players who may choose a school in Illinois or some other, JUCO that might have the monetary resources, but we believe in, you know, helping our players, develop, their game. And so we might, get a player that isn't necessarily where they need to be, but, they have the potential and they're willing to work. And so if they have that mindset, I believe, our program is fit to help them, get their game, to that next level. And in my 3 years, we've been able to, do that with the all region players and all American players that we've been able to produce.
Let me ask this, and another educational question: with good grades, can you get academic money at Madison?
Yes, you can get academic money. There is external scholarships available through the Madison College foundation. And then once you've attended Madison College for a semester, and you have your um, if your GPA is where it needs to be, you'll have the ability then to apply for even more scholarship dollars. And we also have, it goes back to our student support services. We have a ton of different programs on campus that have wraparound services and you know um, monetary benefits attached to those programs as well. And so, knowing that that's another support system that we have, try to utilize that. And we do have um, we have a Scholars of Promise, which is pretty much, I think there's over 50 something schools within a Dane County district that we're able to utilize for, if guys are recruits from those particular schools, there's ways within that program to help, you know, them receive, monetary, benefits as well after the Pell is kicked in, and, those sorts of things, kind of like a last dollars, type of program. So.
Okay, and as we're drawing down a little bit, why why Madison over some of the other powerhouses in the Region Four, or some of the other local or regional JUCOs? It looks like you're just as compatible now, comparable athletically as well as academically, because people don't know you guys have a beautiful gym. A lot of people don't even know
Oh
that.
yeah. Our facilities is A1. Like it is, our branding is, um, it's our facilities, man. It's a lot of people think it's a 4 year school when they step foot on our on our campus. I mean, from our gym to our fitness center, um, to just honestly the how clean our campus is. I mean, it is, you're not going to see trash everywhere. You're not going to see, um, you're just not going to see, any of that. You're going to see, and you're going to meet, very nice people and staff. And, some of my closest colleagues are, here on this campus are in our facilities, in our facilities department, and so just building those, relationships, but those relationships are genuine, and so, with a combination of our facilities, the structure that we have in place in terms of being able to support a student athlete, off the court, and just the structure we have within, in terms of the advising, kind of like the wraparound services, are just, second to none, in my opinion. And then, obviously, um, it's not necessarily about, us as a coaching staff. Our system, man, we run a very player friendly system. Like you gotta be disciplined, but a lot of it's just reading and, reacting. My 3 year this year, we have 5 guys averaging double figures. I
That's
mean,
big. That's big.
that's at any level, that's not, easy, easy to do, but we have 5 guys averaging double figures. And, we get after it, we get after it, and so, Madison College, I think, is a great, I mean, we have great academic programs. I mean, those, my guys who are from, you know, out of state. I mean, the airport is literally, you know, a 5-minute drive from our campus. So, you know, although it might be a 14-hour drive, that flight is 2 hours. So,
Yeah.
you know, it all kind of, you know, works itself out. And then, you know, with the access that we have to Miami, I said Miami, Milwaukee,
Hmm.
Chicago, you know, we're surrounded by, you know, a ton of, you know, really, I mean, Wisconsin, obviously, you know, they only have one Division II in Parkside, but, you know, they have a ton of really good Division IIIs. But we're also, you know, we have, you know, UIC, we have,
NAIs.
Milwaukee, you know, so we have some, you know, mid majors, low major schools, you know, around us as, you know, as well. And so in terms of that exposure and helping guys get to the next level, you know, that isn't an issue.
So, you know, Coach, for people that this has piqued the interest for, how can they get in contact with you or your assistant or whoever if they're interested in coming up for a workout? How can they get in touch with you?
It can email me. Email me is probably the best way to, get a hold of me. Yeah, email
Okay.
is
And what's your
best way.
email if they wanted to reach out to you?
Oh, it's J Roscoe at madisoncollege.edu.
Okay. So
Yep,
it's JROSCOE at madison.edu.
yep, at madisoncollege.edu. Yeah,
Madisoncollege.edu.
but email is the best way to, get a hold of me. And I mean, I know a lot of people know me, so I'm sure if they end up getting my cell number, then, that is what it is. But
Yeah,
email is definitely the quickest way to, get a response. So.
definitely. Hey man, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I thought it was important for you to come on so people can understand the JUCO demographic and not just the JUCO D1, understanding better what JUCO D2 is and what it can do for you as well. It can do just as much as a lot of the D1. So that's why I wanted to bring you on, especially with so much chatter with this whole JUCO situation that is still unresolved and, probably won't be resolved until the end of the season when we'll have a good idea of what's what once the NCAA goes through the court process, once the NJCAA gets on board and, if it works for them as well. But, I wanted to bring you on because I know you and a number of people know you and you're well respected. And that's why I wanted to bring you on as a valuable option for JUCO because a lot of these kids are going to have to consider JUCO, and it's not that it's a bad thing. I want to get that narrative out the window. Like, people are thinking, oh, if I go JUCO, I have some issues. I'm a problem child, or I'm not good academically,
Mhm.
and that's not the case. Sometimes you're going for development. Yes, there are some kids that come to get their academics in order, but the narrative is not because you went JUCO, you have issues or you're not taking care of business in the classroom. It's a valuable option to get to where you want to go. And, I know you would agree with that.
Yeah, not only is it valuable, for, the right, family, the right player. It's also, very, very affordable,
Yes.
um, as well. And, I'll end by saying like JUCO ball, it also isn't for everybody. It's not, I mean, I've seen that, in my 3 years here, it's not for everybody, and so you do have to have the mindset is different at this level,
Mhm.
in many ways. And not that that's necessarily, I'm not saying that's, in a bad way, but, you have to, it kind of goes back to, a lot of, I have several, high school players on my team now, but like my first year here, my oldest player he was already 25, so, and I have a couple, 20-year-olds, on this team, as well. And so, there is, for the most part, there is a difference level in terms of maturity as well. And because some guys on JUCO rosters, some may already have been at a Division One. They may have started off at a JUCO Division One or Division Two, Division Three, or whatever, and back at JUCO.
Yeah.
A totally different JUCO. I've heard and again, you hear all these different stories about different JUCO experiences and just situations that players were in and so again it's just I know here at Madison, man, it's a great place, man. It's definitely a great place all the way around.
Hey man, listen, I want to thank you for coming on, man, because like I said, if it wasn't an option worth it, in my opinion, I wouldn't bring you on the show. And you're a well-respected coach. A lot of people know you and they think highly of you. Man, keep doing what you're doing, man. 19th. You started out at 25th. You're 19th now. Yeah. Boy, by Valentine's Day, man, we'd be top 10. Top 10.
Hey man, we'll see, man. We're just gonna keep stepping it up, man, and keep pushing these guys and just not being satisfied. It's a tremendous honor. Obviously, Madison College, this is the first time they've been ranked in, I think over a decade. But the players on this team deserve it. But I don't necessarily personally really, get tied up in that, or at least try not to. Because again, for me, it's just staying hungry, staying humble, man, and knowing that things can quickly go left. So I'm typically always an even kill, generally, speaking. But it is exciting, for my players, because like I said, this is a young group and they haven't peaked yet, and when they do, it could be, it can definitely be a problem in a good way.
I agree. I agree. I put a smile on my face when it was brought to my attention. I was like, "Oh, Rock in top 25, okay." And I had to reach out just to congratulate, man. I was like, "Man, you up there doing your thing." But hey, man, I look forward to keeping tabs, to seeing what you're doing, man, and not just checking in every once in a while. I want to see where this thing takes you, man, and I want to see if you guys can make it to Danville. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be, I know that's the goal. And, you're doing a knockout job up there, man. And congratulations, brother. Definitely.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it for sure.
And listen, man, as you know, this won't be your last time on. This is your second time on, as is. The first time that desk was brand spanking new last time you was on the show.
Yeah, that was our first. Look,
man, all moved in now, man. Look all nice back there. I was like, okay, he's nice and settled now.
Hey, that's just a little OCD too, man. So,
Hey, man, but listen, man, I appreciate you coming on, man, and man, best of luck for the rest of the season, man. And everybody down here in Atlanta that's familiar with you, we'll definitely be, checking in to see what's going on with Madison College, to see if you can make it to the dance, man. And, definitely good luck and best of wishes. And, man, happy holidays to you, brother. Christmas is 2 days away. Happy holidays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Likewise.
Definitely, man. You take care, man. We're going to talk soon, okay?
All right. Appreciate you.
All right, anytime.
All right, take care, man.
You too. Man, listen, for you guys that don't know about Coach Roscoe, I'm going to tell you now. You need to pay attention, because basketball, and it's about fit, and at least go see if it's a fit, whether you go up there to visit, whether you do your own research, whatever the case may be, check it out. Coach Roscoe's connected in this basketball world. He used to be a D2 coach, for you people that don't know. So it's not he's a JUCO guy. No, he knows a number of people as well. So if you're trying to get to a certain place, Coach Roscoe can get you to where you're trying to go. And that's what this podcast is about, to get you people to understand there's other options. And I'm going to keep presenting them to you, because at the very least, if you research them and say it's not a good fit, that's fine. You did all I wanted you to do is to check it out and see if it's a possible fit for you. A lot of people, as far as players and parents, have no idea. They're looking for this home run off the first hit. And a lot of times it takes researching 3, 4, 5 coaches and finding out what it is. And so, for you people that don't know, I mean, it's important. And for, I appreciate you guys watching. I mean, as for now, they're saying all JUCO transfers that would have completed their eligibility this year now have one more year to play. And they're asking what my thoughts are. My thoughts are, I think it's great, but I think it's great for more than just the basketball perspective. There needs to be accountability from a perspective of get your degree, man. Now you got a whole nother year to get your degree. There's no reason why you shouldn't get this degree in 5 or 6 years now. And I understand school is not for everybody, but if you apply yourself, like Coach Roscoe said, this ball is going to stop bouncing. Take advantage, because now you got that piece of paper that's going to help you, be able to grab a job somewhere where sometimes the requirement is 4-year degree or 2-year degree. Now you can walk in there in confidence and say, here's my degree. I have it. Whether I have the experience or not, that's a whole nother issue right there, whether you got the internship experience or not. But you're not eliminating yourself from even being able to apply is what I'm saying. And, I want to keep just harping on the education because I love basketball just like the next person does, whether it be a coach, whether it be a fan, whatever the case may be. But we can't just put all our eggs in one basket and say, I'm trying to go pro. I'm trying to go overseas. Use this as a vessel to be able to get other types of skills once your basketball career is over, whether you want to coach, whether you want to get into the corporate world, take advantage of the other opportunities that it presents to you. That's going to do it tonight, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as usual. Episode number 97. 3 more before the big 100. I know I've been slow. You guys forgive me. I know I've been slow. Season's kicked off. I'm all over the place. Toledo, Saturday. I will be there at the University of Toledo checking out games. It's been 20 years since I've last stepped foot on the University of Toledo, my old stomping grounds. I look forward to it. Dartmouth, I'm coming. I will be there in January or February. There will be a couple more stops that I plan to visit as well. So stay tuned, and I will be tweeting out about that. I will be speaking about schools that I'm at, and I'll also be educating people that don't know about these schools, the campus life, the educational part. And that's what this is about. And I plan to keep doing this till I can't anymore. That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Next show will be next week since I got a little bit more time as usual. So I will take advantage of that. So we will have another great guest as usual, probably 2 next time, because I'm going to do a high school interview the next time as well, because I want to get some of these high school kids on to speak about their journeys as well, so we can connect with some of the high school kids as well. So stay tuned as usual. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I'm your host, David Jones. Good night.